What's Gucci, guys? So I had to make this video all about fear and how to overcome fear, because I'm seeing this a lot with my students where they think that they have like shiny object syndrome, right? They think that what they're doing isn't going to work. They think that they need the newest trend, and like that's like a very small slice of the equation. That's like 10% of the equation. The massive part of the equation is, can you override fear? How long do you allow fearful thoughts to exist in your mind before you get rid of them and then start taking action? Because like I said, people want this business blueprint. They want to learn how to make money, but it's like, bro, the fear is getting in your way. Realistically, what needs to happen is you need to learn how to overcome fear, right? How to properly overcome fear so that you can actually go get to the money. So let me give you an example. Like, this is what I see. Let me give you an example of myself, right? When I was cutting hair, when I was a barber, I would always have these fearful thoughts. Like, let's say I wanted to take a trip with the family. I would have these fearful thoughts like, oh, what if I don't make enough money when I come back and I go broke and this and that? So I wouldn't go on the trip, right? Let's put it to now with me with a clothing brand. Like, I make a t-shirt design that I would think is dope, and that same fear shows up in different ways. Like, oh, what if you don't sell the t-shirts? Oh, what if you don't make the money back? And then you can't even continue the clothing brand. You can't continue serving people. All these fearful ass thoughts, right? And then, like, with social media, like, what if I put out a video and people laugh at me? What if I don't make the video so 100% perfect and I put it out and then people judge me and they laugh at me and they don't accept me, right? These are all the things that go through people's heads, myself included. And for myself, I've just learned to do a really good job at rejecting all that bullshit so that I can get to taking action. Because when you allow fear to exist in your mind, to just sit in your mind, and you play with it and you don't close the door on it, guess what happens? You start to shrink. You shrink like a motherfucker. And then now you're 3 months down the road and you're like, why hasn't my income changed? Like, why hasn't my life changed? And it's because you're living in fear. There's a difference between just experiencing fear and living in fear, right? If you're just experiencing fear, you know how to shut it out. Or you know how to be able to still take action even though there still may be some fear there, which is likely what's going to happen, right? And then living in fear is like, you don't do nothing. God's calling you to things. God's telling you like a grander purpose. And you're so afraid of whatever the heck it is that you don't do it. You don't do it. And guess what? All that money that you want to make, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So I really just wanted to make this video to open people's eyes up and be like, you don't need a business blueprint. That's not the biggest thing that needs to be worked on. Like, yes, it's a part of the puzzle, but the biggest thing that people need to learn is to rid themselves of fear. Can you do that effectively? Can you rid your mind of fear? Can you, in the morning or in the moment as you're experiencing, in the morning time, you surrender it to God. In the moment, you do the same thing. When you catch yourself feeling fear and you're like, ah, shit, like, this thing is scaring me, you know? Can you, in the moment, look up and say, God, I surrender this fear to you? Like, if if this is what you're asking me to do, and the fear is getting in the way, I surrender it to you. And when you can do that, you become very, very powerful. And people will look at you and be like, yo, like, how's he do it, you know? It's like, dude, we all experience the same stuff. Just some have learned to override fear better than others. And the last thing, like, do it scared. Who cares? Do it scared. It's okay if you're scared. Like, we all experience it. We all experience the fear. Do the shit fucking scared. Who cares? Like, if people don't think that when I started the clothing brand that I was scared, like, you're wrong. You're wrong. If you don't think that I don't experience fear when it comes to dropping stuff, when it comes to a lot of stuff, you're wrong. You're wrong. Completely wrong. We all experience it. Some, like I said, just learn to handle it better than others. My girlfriend closed the door. But I really just wanted to make this video to open your goddamn eyes and make you see, like, you don't need another business blueprint. You don't need to jump from coach to coach to coach. You gotta do the thing. There's so many blueprints out there. Like, you could go to 10 different barber coaches. All of it will work. You could go to 10 different clothing brand coaches. It'll all work. It's just who can put the fear aside, not live in fear, and actually take action and make the thing happen. And then not get impatient when the timeline isn't like 2 days for the result to come. Some food for thought. I know I went on a sick one, but like, I need you guys to think about this stuff, because people will waste their whole life living in fear, never taking action on anything they ever wanted to do because they came up with all these stories as to how it's not going to work. What about the flip side of the coin? And creating like all those stories that are created in your mind about how the thing's not going to work. On the flip side of that coin is God talking to you and telling you how crazy your life will look and how dope your life will be if you just listen to him instead of listening to the devil. Like, that, when this is something my coach told me. I'm not done with the video. I thought I was. This is something my coach told me. Like, when you're experiencing fear and you're playing into it, you're literally signing a contract with the devil. Like, let's say you're fearing money, right? Fearing letting go of money. You are signing a contract with the devil. I am okay with you fucking with this area of my life. Because who does fear come from? The devil. But then vice versa too. Like, when you're feeding into faith-based thoughts, love-based thoughts, you're signing a contract with God to bless your life. So it goes like, and then it's like, which one are you living in more, the fear or the faith? Which one? Hopefully it's the faith. Hopefully it's love. And it'll show in your life. You can look around in your life. Like, are you seeing abundance? Yes or no? Are you or are you not? But I'll stop talking your guys' ear off. I really hope that this benefited somebody. Because, fuck, like, I get irritated, like, seeing people waste their life. Like, irritated at the fear, not really the person. I get it that it's fear stopping people. It's fear holding people back. And all my people, I want them to be aware of the fact that those are all the stuff that plays in your mind when fear comes are the things that are holding you back. And when you learn to override those, when you learn to tell yourself a different story, oh my God, your life will change so dramatically. So dramatically. So work on the things that I was talking about in this video, and watch your life change. Watch it change little by little.